Transfer talk still goes on over on our website. Be sure to check it out. Of course, Manchester United normally dominate the headlines for the right and wrong reasons. Jan is with us, and we welcome Mark Ogden as well. Now, Oggy, it was supposed to be done, wasn't it? That was it. Transfer window shut.
What?
You had to deal with what you dealt with. However, there will be one less goalkeeper at Manchester United now, yes?
Well, that's the hope at United. Is the Turkish window closes on the 12th of September, and Trabzonspor have agreed a loan deal with United for Andre Onana. Onana's agreed to it, but it's not actually done yet because Onana, I think, is in international duty. So until he's in Trabzon, he's signed the dotted line, it's not done. But it is pretty much done. So Andre Onana will be leaving Man United on a season-long loan to Trabzonspor.
All right, Oggy, thanks for coming on.
And who will be their first choice goalkeeper then, Oggy?
Well, this is the big question because, you know, they signed Sonny Lammens from Antwerp, and all the noise from United have been, don't put pressure on this guy, he's not number one, he's one for the future. So, like you say, Dan, who's going to be in goal at the Manchester Derby at the weekend? Is it going to be the kid from Royal Antwerp who's never played at the highest level before? Or is it going to be Altay Bayındır, who's had a pretty tricky start to the season? Every game he's played, he's made a mistake. Or Tom Heaton, who, to be fair to Tom Heaton, he looked good in pre-season, but Tom Heaton's 39. He hasn't played for, I can't even remember the last time he played for United. So they're United's goalkeeping options. They've got a very, very ropey number two, a guy who never plays, and a young kid with a big future, but who would be thrown in at the deep end in the derby. So the answer to the question, Dan, is I don't know.
Kasey, if you're Lemons, obviously, just talk us through the psychology of going from Belgium to the Premier League.
Right. It's tough.
To Manchester United.
It's tough.
To a Manchester Derby.
To a Manchester United that is not, you know, we saw Manchester United goalkeepers come in once Schmeichel left, and in a side that's potentially winning the league. Now a side that finished in the bottom half of the table who haven't necessarily looked like they're going to be that much better. So you're going into a team that has an expectation that I need you to make saves. I need you to help us get better. Now, personally, I think if you're anybody with confidence, and as a professional athlete, you should be borderlining on arrogance, not just confidence. You're thinking, oh, give me this chance.
Right.
There's nobody here. Give it to me. I'll show you I am not just the young kid who hopes to be a good goalkeeper. I'll show you I'm ready right now. Now, is he ready right now?
It can't be worse.
That's the question.
Yeah.
You know,
how do you bring it? What kind of strategy? Like, if you're bringing in one for the future, you have to have
the one for now.
You have to have a Schmeichel or a Barthez or whoever it is that's been playing in goal for Man United, and then you sort of build them in slowly. How can you bring a keeper in for the future when your current number one is a disaster? All right, it might be a decent shot stopper and all that, but guess what? People put crosses into the box. People put long throw-ins into the box. People put corner kicks under the crossbar. That ain't going away. That ain't going away. But Craig, he's a disaster with that.
That's not important in goalkeeping anymore. All you have to do is be able to play out of the back.
Oh, I see.
You don't have to make a save. You don't have to catch a cross. You just have to pass a ball to your outside back and maybe
Kasey,
take a good goal kick. That's all that matters.
Kasey, I think that trend will change now. There will Donnarumma coming in. Pep Guardiola will now have a goalkeeper that is better with his hand than with his legs. I mean, that is the first time in the history of goalkeeping in the last 5-6 years. And to be fair to the young kids coming in, I mean, it must be the fantastic thing to come into a Manchester derby, and it can't get worse.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't do worse than the ones they've had in the beginning of the season. But it's a trend now at Manchester United. You get an awful lot of money. You take to buy Šeško. When you need a penalty in Grimsby, he's the last outfield player who do it. If you need a goal at home, he's the last striker to come on. And now you're going to get a new goalkeeper. He's the last goalkeeper to come on. Is that a strategy?
Well, Real Madrid realised it. Real Madrid, one if not the most successful clubs in the world, went out and got themselves a brilliant goalkeeper. And Courtois is okay with his feet, but he's not the best.
No.
But he's arguably the best at everything else. He's had that horrendous injury. He's came back. But at one point before the injury and coming back now, I think he is at the moment the best out there. But Real Madrid realised that, and their success is out there for everybody to see. And it's a bit like Arsenal with the free kicks in a sense, and we've talked about this. It's important for them to get back to basics and have their set pieces as a bit of an afterthought, because they're not going to win the league on the set pieces alone. They'll win the league on their basics, what they do well, the way they press, how they get it to the wide men, how the defence operates as a unit. And then the free kicks and the set pieces are secondary. I think with me, as a non-goalkeeper, obviously, Kasey's the goalkeeper.
You played one.
It's to
you
say,
had 10 minutes.
It's to say, I'd rather have a goalkeeper who was slightly less comfortable with the ball at his feet, but was going to make me X amount of points with these great saves or dealing with situations in the box and marshalling a back four. You know, really communicating with a back four. It just seems we've got away with this crazy playing the ball across the 6-yard box.
Now, if you have, I think the key to any coach is to take your players' strengths and their players' weakness and play to those. Now, if I have a goalkeeper that is the best player on the pitch with his feet, okay, then he can play that particular way. If I have a striker who's a big guy, holds the ball up, oh, no, I need you to play like Messi. I can't play like Messi. That's not who I am. Well, then why are you asking your goalkeeper to play a particular way when he's not? That's not his strength.
Because you're also special. You're also special.
Yes, I got to do both,
you can't
Jan.
even compete. Yeah, you can't. The goalkeepers are so special. They need confidence. You can't take them off at halftime because they are so special. A striker doesn't need trust. Oh, we do.
Yeah,
but the
100%.
goalkeepers are so special. I'm 100% with you. Play to your strength and try to. You have the biggest gloves in the history of football, and you can't save ball because you have to be good with your feet.
I'll give you an example with plenty strengths, and I think some managers are just getting away from it to try and be the next best thing. You know, look at how we've just played out from, and I get it. Sometimes playing out from the back is good because you can stretch teams, but it's been proven time and time again when you see some of the games, most of the sides can't do it, and even the best sides get caught out. I'll give you one example of playing to strengths in the Premier League who probably do it better than anybody else with a smaller budget and squad than most, is Oliver Glasner in Crystal Palace. Right? They've had great success doing what they do to their strengths, both in the Premier League last year, the FA Cup and the Community Shield. They know in Lacroix, Gahey and Richards at the back, they don't have centre-halves that really want the ball to their feet all the time. So they don't take that risk. They might do it now and again, but generally, Dean Henderson will knock it up the field.
Yep.
And then they have a big guy, and Jean-Philippe Mateta, who'll hold it up and fight for it, and they'll get up and support. They don't try and do things that they are not good at. Because if they tried it, they'd be down in a relegation zone. So there's a manager who understands, and by the way, a highly thought of manager, who understands the strengths and weaknesses of what he's got at this particular time. He's not trying to make, you know, some sort of chicken salad out of chicken whatever, right? He's just doing what he does. I nearly said the word. He's doing what he does with his players. And I just feel there's too many managers are just trying to get away from the basics to do things with goalkeepers that...
Do things with centre backs, do things with outside backs, do things but...
Anyway, I didn't realise we'd be talking about goalies for as long as this.
Well, we're going to continue as well, by the way, because, of course, the talking point from the other side of the Manchester derby is Donnarumma, who looks, of course, to make his debut, Oggy. And what's interesting is we had Mr. Man City on at the weekend talking about Donnarumma, and even Nedum's not particularly excited by this.
I think Nedum's just got a soft spot for James Trafford. Another Man City graduate that's come to the ranks has been badly treated. No, I'm pretty sure that Donnarumma will play at the weekend because James Trafford hasn't made the best of starts at City. He's struggled a little bit, and they brought in Donnarumma for big money, big wages, big profile, and he's a big game goalkeeper, isn't he, Donnarumma? That's what, you know, you talked about United before, who they would play. Well, Guardiola's not got a problem there because he just puts Donnarumma in because he's played all these big games before in his life, and that is why Ruben Amorim wanted Emi Martinez from Aston Villa. The plan would have been bring Martinez in, play the guy, he's big game mentality, been there, done it, and then allow Sané Lamens to kind of develop under the kind of tutelage of Emi Martinez, but United don't have that option. City, well, James Trafford can learn from Donnarumma. He was supposed to challenge Ederson this year. He was never guaranteed to be the number one this season, Trafford. He's going to kind of challenge Ederson for the number one spot. So he's still got the situation where he's up against an experienced goalkeeper. The only problem is Donnarumma's a lot younger than Ederson, and he's probably a lot better as well. But still, Man City have upgraded their goalkeeping options. Certainly from the perspective of a guy who can catch the ball. With his feet, it's a different story. But, we don't want to go back to the last 10 minutes and talk about feet again. But that is the difference between Donnarumma and Ederson.
The other, you made the point, Augie. The different, Donnarumma's 26. You're not learning. It's not like if he was 36, then you look at it like, okay, here's a young kid. Here's a guy 36. He's got maybe a season or two just to kind of right the ship, give this kid some opportunity. But at 26,
it feels like Donnarumma's older because
he started at like 18.
Yes.
But
he looks old.
Yeah, but there's that point where I'm thinking if you're 26, I expect him to be if he's playing well in the side for 8 to 10 years. I think so. What young kid is going to be like? Oh, that's great. They just signed a guy that's going to play for 10 years.
I don't think we should underestimate what Guardiola is looking for. I mean, James Trafford is coming in. Yes, he's done some mistakes. We played a couple of 3 games this season, but I mean, the Manchester City defense have looked very bad lately. I mean, they look like conceding chances. They look like conceding goals. Donnarumma will come in with his stature. After that game against Israel tonight, I feel sorry for my preparation for this segment because he was terrible in Hungary. Yeah. But I think that I think this is the things that he wants to do. He is desperate now, looking for how to improve this team, and one thing that he will 100% looking at is why we keep conceding goals. Why do we have a goalkeeper who is better with his feet than with his arms and hands? So I think this could be good. I think this could be a good move for Donnarumma and Manchester City.
Yeah, but. If you think the Tottenham game, Trafford looked very nervous at home. Augie's right, but actually in defeat at Brighton, Trafford actually played very well, and
I agree,
and was not the issue, and in long term is not the issue. Yeah, you bring it. I'm not arguing Donnarumma over Trafford. I'm not arguing. Right, he's better. He's a world-class goalkeeper. I'm not arguing that. But the point is he really going to make that big a difference in the problem areas? Full back, right back area, left back area. He's let Akanji go on loan. So there's a squad, there's a body down. He played Kushinov at Brighton alongside John Stones. That didn't look, particularly in the second half, like a partnership at all. And we know young Kushinov has struggled since he came in. So yeah, you'll get a bit more experience behind in Donnarumma coming in. But he's still going to be exposed to the same issues that Trafford and Ederson and others were exposed to Ortega in the last 12 months or so.